Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and today I want to talk about pub stomping in Commander. So let's get straight into it. So pub stomping, what is it? That's when you come into a game and you just completely rickroll the table and blow them out of the water before they can even get a chance to do anything. Where this mainly seems to happen is if there's a bracket mismatch, or back when we had power levels, a power level mismatch, right? You sit down at a table and everybody's like, yep, we've got bracket 2 decks. And then you have somebody who will have a technically bracket 2 deck, but it's so optimized that, say it's like a combo deck or something like that, it doesn't have game changers, but still wins consistently on 3 or 4 turns, right? And then that person's like, well, I don't understand what the problem was. You know, it's bracket 2, it's all fair play. But you pub stomped the table, and sometimes that's just not very enjoyable for the rest, right? And so this is something I actually encountered a lot when I was playing spell table games. And some of them you can see in some of the random spell table game episodes where we'd sit down. One famous example in there that I can think of offhand is we sat down at a table where a person was playing I believe it was the Titus precon deck. They said, "Hey, this is bracket 2 precon." So I went and I grabbed out a bracket 2 deck. Another guy grabbed a bracket 2 deck, and then we had a guy sit down and he's like, yep, this is fine. And we start playing, and then turn 1, the one guy drops an Ancient Tomb, and we're like, okay, hey, that's a game changer. You know, this is a bracket 2 game, and it's early enough in the game that we could have shuffled up. And the player's response was, well, no, it's not. And we're like, well, it's on the official game changers list by Wizards. And he says, in my opinion, it's not a game changer. And then he proceeds to kill us, I think, by turn 4. And so when you have that kind of experience, right? We had somebody who had a precon who just wanted to try out the precon, have a fun game, and they got to play 4 turns where they got, I think, they hit all their land drops, and they got maybe 1 creature in play and 1 other spell. And then the players bringing in, for all I know, it could have been a bracket 4 deck because we were seeing the game changers and combos and stuff, and just running the table. Now, that might have been enjoyable for that one player to just sit down and be like, all right, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to smash this table, and it's going to be great. It's going to be the best thing ever. But for myself and the other 2 players, right, it's, hey, I just wasted like 20 minutes of my time because Magic is a time investment, right? And if you're investing your time, you want to be able to have a positive experience, right? You don't sit down to a game of Magic and expecting to hate everything, right? You want to be able to have a fun and dynamic gameplay experience. And so that gets me into this first kind of moral lesson, right? Winning at any cost is not really winning. Sure, you might win the game, but Magic, especially Commander, is kind of like a social contract, right? The amount of care, compassion, amount of fun that you put into it is what you're eventually going to get out. It may feel good to pub stomp that 1 or 2 games, right? To go in and crush those new folks that with their precons, or to run the table on those decks that you're going to beat, and that you knew what you were doing. But eventually you're either going to get bored, or if you're doing this at, say, like a local game store, or if you're doing it with your friend group, eventually either people will stop playing with you, or they're going to adapt to how you play and play at the same level, and you won't be able to do that anymore. And so what I would ask is that when you sit down for your game of Magic, right, we all know what Rule Zero is. We all talk about like, hey, this is going to be a bracket 2 game. Hey, this is going to be a bracket 3 game. And with my friend group, like, we kind of already know what our decks are, right? And in our friend group, Mitch has his bracket 3 Crush deck, and John has his bracket 4 Urza deck. And we'll sit down, and I might play a bracket 2 while John has his bracket 4, while Mitch has his bracket 3. But we're okay with that because we're friends. We've played for, well over a decade. So we know each other. And like when I sit down with a bracket 2, knowing that John's got a bracket 4, I see that in our personal friend group as more of a challenge, right? Like, can I overcome the odds here? But John also isn't just sitting down saying, oh yeah, Urza's a bracket 2. And then, proceeds to Thopter Sword us or something like that. And so all I ask is we as Magic players just be a little bit more conscientious of each other, right? Like, and especially be conscientious of others' feelings. You can win a game, and you can go in and do cool things without necessarily being a jerk, right? For a lot of us, myself included, like, Magic is an escape, from our day to day. It takes stress away from my job. It helps me reconnect with friends, all of that stuff. And for a lot of people, that might be the bright spot they have in their life, right? Like, say somebody who's going to a local game store, they get to go once a week for 2 hours, and they sit down and they get pub-stomped right off the bat, right? That was their one escape of the week. When they just wanted to not focus on work, on bills, on life, on finances. They just wanted to sit down and have that escape. So what I ask is, especially, have those Rule Zero conversations. Be honest about your Rule Zero conversations, right? Be honest about your bracket conversations. Be kind to people. And that's always, I'm sure you've noticed my kind of running theme in Magic is being kind to people, and help make the experience that you want to see. Because we've all been there, right? We've all been the person who's been pub-stomped. We've all been the person who felt like they just weren't good enough to sit at the table, right? And so I think we as Magic players have an obligation to create an experience where everybody has fun, not just yourself, right? And so that's all I wanted to talk about today. I know this one is a little bit different topic from my sappy memory lane stuff, but it's something I'm pretty passionate about, especially as I continue to play random spell table games. Even though I don't make them for episodes anymore, I still try to make those random spell table games. So thank you all very much for watching. As always, if you'd like to play with my friends and I have that Google form that you can fill out. Its link is in the description. If you want to see a deck tech, like if you want me to make a deck out of some fringe commander like Rasputin Dreamweaver or Angus Mackenzie or something, I also have a Google form for that. Fill that out. I'll make sure to get that done. And yeah, I'm just happy that y'all stopped by and watch. Like, I cannot tell you how much it means to me that for starting making Magic content on, I think it was June 14th, and now it's August 1st, and the channel has 5,000 views in the last month, and 55 subscribers. I would have never imagined. I started this as just like, I'll do this, and I might get like 1 or 2 subscribers, mostly my friends, and might have somebody like a video or something like that. It's been overwhelming, as always. I never ever will ask anything of any of you that watch other than that I hope you have fun and enjoy what I do. And the one ask I would do is let me know what I can always do better. I am learning a little bit more about video editing, so hopefully my video quality is improving. Eventually, I'd like to get a nicer camera than the webcams I use. And yeah, thank you all very much. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.